I was 20 when Sri Lanka won the World Cup. So obviously you have to love cricket when you're growing up. That's the only sport that Sri Lanka plays well at world class level. But I wasn't a big fan. I followed Sri Lanka in the 90s, but then I stopped watching cricket because Australia was winning everything. It was boring. But then when I was writing this story in 2008, I realized I have to research. So then I researched from the 70s, 80s, and yeah, became into cricket. And for 2 years, all I did was watch cricket, study stats and everything. But no, I wasn't. There are a lot of big fans, people who are obsessed with cricket in Sri Lanka and in India. I wasn't one of them. I was just a casual fan. And now I don't watch cricket because Sri Lanka is really bad. So I don't watch much cricket now. But yeah, for those 2 years, I was obsessed with cricket. Yeah. There were a lot of bowlers like Pradeep Matthew. So Pradeep Matthew is a bowler. He played 4 test matches, disappeared. There are a lot of cases of cricketers who are very talented, but they didn't get the chance, or they had one good performance, didn't make it. So there are a lot of characters like that. I didn't base it on specific person, but I collected all these stories. Even now, like now, Sri Lankan cricket is not in a good place, and we have so many different players. The selectors have gone through about 100 players in the last 5 years. So again, you get talented guys, maybe they bad luck or they don't have good connections and they don't make it. So yeah, so I collected these stories. But yeah, I don't know if it's about anyone true. You have to tell me, I don't know. No, so I mean, if you look at cricketing brain, Mahela, I think, Sangha as well, these are great thinking cricketers and great work ethic and all that. But if you're looking the period of my life, Ranatunga was the guy who, before Sri Lankan cricket had talent, but we didn't have the mental toughness. We didn't have that. So in the 80s, we lose a lot. Maybe we one performance, then we lose. But I think Ranatunga in the 90s really made us very strong and proud to be Sri Lankan. The way they played against Australia, Mark Taylor's Australians, Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne. These were like the best Australian team of the 90s. But our guys weren't afraid when they no-balled. Now before, if Murali got no-balled, they'll take him off and forget. But Ranatunga fought for Murali. So I think because of that, I personally think Ranatunga was the guy who made Sri Lanka world class, and he won the World Cup. After that, they were more talented. Sanath and Aravinda. Sanath and Aravinda were more talented cricketers than Ranatunga. But Ranatunga for me was the real leader, the real captain. Like I say, Sangha and Mahela are great thinking cricketers. But I still think for me, my favorite batsman is Aravinda de Silva. My favorite captain is Ranatunga from that era. Yeah. It's a ghost story. It's a ghost story about because in 1989 there were a lot of dead bodies in Sri Lanka. A lot of people being killed, unsolved murders. We don't know. People disappear. We don't know where they disappear. The body turns up. A lot of mysterious deaths like that. And so I thought it might be interesting to have a ghost story set in 1989 where we talk to one of these people who finds themselves dead, doesn't know how they died, and solves the mystery about how they died. So that was really the background, to set a ghost story in the late 80s where Sri Lanka was a very violent place. I didn't use any of it in the book in the end. I didn't, but like I say, I've never seen a ghost. I never felt. So we went to haunted houses. They look like haunted houses in the movies, they are old and breaking down. But I didn't find it useful because I didn't really experience. I hung out at the cemetery late at night, looking around. I didn't really see any ghosts. I didn't. But of course, my imagination made me make up ghosts and all that. But there were a few, but I don't think they were good. Like we were camping in Yala in this haunted place, and then you hear sounds and you hear growling and all that. I think it was just animals. Personally, the people I went with believe. I don't. Yeah. So it was really strange. I did all this research, but in the end, I had to kind of imagine it myself. Yeah. it's a different time, man. It's a very different time because it's 30 years ago, and different government in power, different. There was a war going on. There was a lot of there was Marxist revolution. There was lot. So now we have our own problems now, but it's a very different atmosphere than it was then. Then we were on the verge of being a failed state. We were on the verge of, complete collapse. Now we've had violence. We had the Easter attacks last year and all of that. And we've had dark periods, but I don't think I think it's good we've only had 10 years of no war. And I think it's got its own problems, but they are very different eras. That's why I wanted to write about it. So a lot of the politicians who are there now were peace activists in the 80s. And now they are politicians, so Well, it happened, it was such a shock, right? We have been peaceful for so long, suddenly these attacks happened and a lot of innocent people, a lot of poor innocent people were killed, and it shocked us all. And for 1 month, there was panic, there was fear, there was riots. But then now it's back to normal. Sri Lanka have very short memories. Like it happens, there's activity, and now we're back to normal. It seems like everything is fine, but there are still wounds there. They optioned it last year. So option means it can go either way. Either option means they make it or they don't make it. So I don't know. I'll know middle of this year if they're going to make the film or if it's going to be a TV series. But I don't know much about it. But I hope they make it. It should be exciting. But like I say, the author doesn't really have much of a say. So that's one talk. Are they going to make it about 1983 instead of making it about 1996 Sri Lanka? Could they make it about 1983 India? There was an idea to, instead of Pradeep Singh, and have him a Sikh character playing in the... So I don't know, man. I mean, this is all... They could make it into a musical. I don't know. They can do anything they want. I try and play, but I mean, just with my friends, we come over, we play some old rock and roll, play some Pink Floyd, some Doors. It's fun. I would like to. Every year I say I'm going to form a band and do something. I have 2 kids, man. It doesn't really happen. But I like to. I brought my guitar also this time. Yeah, but music is a hobby. I mean, writing is my full time. Then I do advertising is my job. Writing. Music is there as a distant third. But I'd still like to do it. I just can't sing, I can't dance, I can't do anything. So I need to find singers and do it. Yeah, you hear that. I mean, Bollywood's quite big in Sri Lanka. All the films get played there, and I mean, I listened to a lot of rock music when I was young. Now I kind of listen to classical. So yeah, I listen to like Indian classical music more than I listen to the popular stuff. But yeah, it's all around. Everyone, yeah. MBFL. I've just got here, but it's wonderful to... Firstly, the air is clean. I was just in Delhi, man. I was like... Came here and I'm like, okay. I'm not going to get sick. Yeah, I just met a few people. I haven't even attended a session, but wonderful space. Great. Yeah. And wonderful... yeah. I like it. I'm looking forward to now checking out some of the sessions.